everybody, and welcome back once again. Another edition of Inside the Headset. Week 4, Game 5. We're at the midway point, and I'm with the head coach of the Oakland Patriots, Coach Thomas McDaniel. Been a while since we chatted. You did play Arlington this Friday night, but the Friday night before, you had Siegel. Kind of combine, talk a little bit about where Oakland is, and kind of what your profile is right now.
We need to start going back outside. It's nice now. We can get back out. It's not as hot. So, it's been a couple weeks since we've spoke. Since the White Station game, I guess. We played Siegel 2 weeks ago. I can't even remember that game at this point, to be honest. I don't even know what the score was. We played well. Had a really good night defensively. We gave up one pass in the first half. That cost us a touchdown, and then based off my memory, I'm thinking here, we had a couple of drives we got inside the 25 and we didn't convert, and but we did a good job executing early in the second half. Had a couple big plays, and got the game in hand early in the third quarter. So all that being said, pretty satisfied with the Siegel game. We had, I think we had, I want to say 9 or 10 penalties in that game.
That's not good.
No, it's not, and I know that was pretty restrictive on us offensively at times. We had some false starts and some holding penalties that put us behind the chains, and that like I said, doesn't help your cause when you're looking at trying to get some continuity on offense. We were able to against Arlington, we were able to even more so put ourselves in the hole with 15 penalties. So I don't know. I mean, we've had good practice, good preparation, but for whatever reason, right now we're our own worst enemy. Arlington, we had 15 penalties.
Big ones, 10s, 15s.
Oh man, there were every variety you could think of. There were personal fouls, there were face masks, there was roughing the punter, there was false starts. Just anything that we got the whole gamut of penalties. So. Some of them are effort penalties. Like I said, we had two roughing the punter penalties. Both of them, there were bad snaps. The punter was going to get the ball and was in the act of trying to re-kick the ball. And I've always told our guys that if the ball hits the ground, you just go after it. And those were effort penalties. It's a judgment call on the official, whether or not it's really an act of punting.
Right.
He judged it to be an act of punting both times. So we really kind of got double whammy because there were third down penalties that were converted into other first downs, and then had a couple big runs. I mean, now that I just said that, we had like an 80-yard touchdown run against Siegel called back for a holding. We had a couple big runs the other night, not touchdowns. We had a couple. Big
and when you give that up, explain, because you got to give up 14 points, don't you? If you turn that ball over, if you
do. Yeah, if you don't score after you've taken those points off the board, it's a 14-point swing. That's exactly right. So. And I mean, for us right now, and like I said, it's a mentality thing that we've got to do a better job as a coaching staff of preaching to our backs. Is you got to trust your assignment, you got to trust the guys in front of you, and then within that, understand that 5 yards is a good gain. And I don't think that we're quite understanding the mentality that 4 and 5 yards positive is a good gain. So
12 yards if you run 3 downs, 4 times 3.
They just. And that's just their mentality of wanting to hit the big one, but that creates some impatience at times, and I guess trying to get too creative in the run game, and then costing us on tackles for loss. Or there's just sometimes we got things blocked at the point of attack, exactly what we want. We're still not hitting it. Now that's not necessarily to say that that's any different than years past. It usually takes the backs 4 or 5 games to kind of really get in sync with the offensive line. And start hitting it exactly where we want it. I look for us the next couple of weeks to really make that next step. But to this point, the other night we were missing holes at times. Like I said, pressing too much and trying to do too much. It's not an effort thing. Cunningham and Black both are great effort guys. They're very competitive. They want to do well, but we've got to trust the system, and you got to trust the people in front of you as well. So those are all things that we're trying to, really communicate to the guys right now, and then just get our continuity back. I think, there's 2 things. Number one, we got to decide on the quarterback, and we still haven't. And then the other thing is, we don't have any continuity on the offensive line against Arlington. Jack Jones is out. I had to sit. Hudson Smith was out early in the game. And then we had another offensive lineman that got hurt. Jacob Lowry got hurt during warm-ups. So doesn't happen very often that you have a lineman get hurt during warm-ups or anybody gets hurt. But we were already out Jack. We were already having another one in Hudson Smith that we were going to have to, kind of wait on him a little bit for other reasons. And so we started the game against Arlington with 3 offensive linemen that weren't prepared to be playing in those situations. So that doesn't help your offense. So it took us, as I enjoy I guess this is Pike's Place, I don't know, but it took us probably, midway through the second quarter to really start kind of getting in a groove, and then by, early in the third quarter, we really started to wear on them and we popped some big runs. So, like I said, that's something that hopefully this week, Jack is able to get back. He's been practicing. He looks good. If he's confident and feels good, then he's going to go Friday. Last weekend, I would have said he's not going to go Friday, but right now it looks like he may go against Smyrna, which would definitely be a benefite for us.
Leadership role as well as skill set and just overall, everything.
Yeah, and like I said, within that we gotta figure out our quarterback situation, which we're not sure what that looks like quite yet. So I know I've said before, but I think the positive for us being right now, the things that we can reflect on and really just kind of as a group can recognize is that we still have a long way to go to play our best football, and that makes me feel good because I think we're playing good football. Other than some sloppy penalties, we're playing good. But if we can continue to improve and get some continuity in certain positions, we should be hitting our stride down the stretch.
You get this quarterback, you find the guy or the guy that really wants to take the next step, because it is a leadership role. It's a lot of pressure. Once that guy gets in slot, how much runway you think you got, Coach? I mean, how much better do you think these guys can gel and get?
I think we can get a lot better. I think we're still trying to fill out our way through the offense as far as, from everything from just game plan to play calling to execution, penalties, just player continuity in the huddle, like you said, leadership, all those things. There's so many aspects that we're still not where we need to be. We're not. We can get a lot. I mean, it's not really just about the quarterback play. It's really more about just kind of getting in sync on offense in general. We're still kind of tweaking and figuring out what's the best way to attack. With us being in the shotgun now, not really playing with a tight end, we're still, pretty traditional, but it's just a little bit different plan of attack in general. And we've got to make sure we're doing a good enough job on the perimeter, throwing the ball, and finding a perimeter run game as well within that. So, I definitely feel like, with the next 3-4 weeks, we've got Smyrna this week, we've got Brentwood next week, and then we've got a bye week. So. We've got 3 weeks really where we feel like we can, continue to just improve, try to settle in schematically, and within that settle in at a quarterback decision, and then get ready for the home run stretch. I guess starting with Baylor. So we're definitely not panic mode at all. It's not like we're not moving the football. We're doing a good job of moving the ball, and we're productive, but we're almost enemy with the penalties, like I've said before, and then not finishing drives. And I think some of it's just figuring out how we can. Capitalize in the red zone and, just kind of get our niche for what we got to hang our hat on.
Take away the penalties, you think there's 14 more points in that set?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we just, I think we started 3 or 4 drives in the first half behind the chains. And it's a numbers game, everybody knows that. But for us, what we want to do offensively, again, if we can get 4 or 5 yards a clip running the football, we're trying to keep a balance because we've got so many guys on the perimeter that need to touch it, and within that they're all explosive. So, we got to balance taking vertical shots downfield with.
You had a nice vertical against Siegel.
Yeah, we got to manage those, and don't forget about the just short, consistent, easy stuff that we can do, and that's where we've failed as a coaching staff right now. We're not doing enough just throwing it on the perimeter right now. Like what George did early in the season where he took a bubble against Blackman. Things like that, we're not throwing that enough right now. We hit George on a post against Arlington, first or second series, ball's in the end zone, he drops it, So
that's 6.
Yeah, that's 6 right there. And then we got on the 1 yard line and we went for it on fourth down and got stopped. So within
And
that,
you got to have that 6 in playoffs, coach. You can't give that 6 away.
That's
14.
Yeah, and that's without even getting into any of the particulars of the penalties. So we dropped a post and we got stopped on 4th and 1. Some of that is, we're also trying to figure out a balance for us, I guess philosophically, of we've just been a traditional under center, tight end, 2 tight end, line up and play within a phone booth. That's just really not us right now. And if you're not going to be that, it's hard to jump back into it in certain situations. We've just not been very effective in short yardage, and I think a lot of that is because we're trying to live in the same philosophical approach that we have been in the past, which is just line up and bully people. And it's not to say you can still bully people in shotgun, but we've got to figure out what best fits our personnel, what gives us the best chances to create run lanes. And sometimes when you put them all down in there are no run lanes. I could go back, case in point against Siegel, we got down inside the 5 one time and they stopped us. We got inside the 5 against Siegel twice, came away with 3 points. Okay, they stopped us on the goal line. We got everybody destroyed basically except the backside linebacker, and he makes the play. That's not to say that our backs aren't good enough to run over them or make a miss, but when you got all that condensed area and all those bodies flying around, there's not a whole lot of spots for that tailback to go, and we can block it perfectly. And if we just get caught up in one spot, then the backside linebacker's free. And our 2 backs, although they're strong and physical,
And if he's coming up the middle, that's what he wants. That's what that linebacker wants. Hit him right in the mouth.
That's right. And our backs are both physical, but they're not big in stature. So, winning those one-on-one matchups are much easier if there's a little bit of space involved as opposed to running over people's legs, so to speak. So, just figuring out what's best for us. And like I said, I'm not really panicky about it, and it doesn't bother me that we're not where we think we need to be. If we were playing our best football right now, that would be a concern because there's not a whole lot of improvement. But we got continual improvement in mind. I really think that we're just going to focus on day-to-day getting better. And it'll be a great opportunity Friday against Smyrna when we get to go to play them. So it's been 2 good games. A lot of things we got to correct, a lot of penalties, a lot of silly mistakes, but it's stuff that we can learn from, and I think that our kids will continue to try to correct moving forward.
Defensively, how do you feel like you are, and where's that growth?
We're definitely further along defensively than we are offensively, and I mean, again, there could be multiple reasons for that. I think number one, we've got pretty much 8 guys returning on defense, so.
And they like playing defense.
Yeah,
they love
yeah.
it.
So I mean, we got a lot of experience there. Also. Our defensive line probably right now, I mean, I know that, Ty was joking with us before the segment started, but Ty Nix and Anthony Akers and Devon Newman and Terrell Ward, Kyle Oliver and some other guys that I failed to mention, but we got 6 or 7, 8 defensive linemen, Jay Hathaway, Chris Onwumere. We got some guys that were rotating in that are doing a very good job for us right now on the defensive front, and it starts with Anthony and Ty inside, but we're just people are having a hard time blocking our front four, and if that's the case, then we can continue to be. Case in point would be Siegel. When you can give a 4-1 box and play quarters in the back end and not have to commit another guy and a safety down to the line of scrimmage, then you can defend the pass a lot better when you're defending with 6 or 7 as opposed to 4 or 5. So
back to the numbers game.
Yeah. So right now we're able to be pretty simplistic defensively because we've got the personnel to do that. Again, our front kind of sets the tone and all that because if they're able to stop the run, keep things clean for Kevin Prather and Josh Smith, then they can just go make tackles. And those 2 should be good enough to be run, pass, read guys. I mean, they ought to be able to play the run and drop and pass. So. That's where we're at there. We were stellar on defense the other night. Second or third series caused a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. Really, we're needing a momentum shift. In the third quarter, I believe, it was third quarter, we needed a momentum shift. We were up 14-3 at that point, I think. And Josh Cunningham picked one off and ran it back for about 65 yards.
Sweet.
Picked another one off, didn't return it, but about 10, but he picked another one off. And then early in the fourth quarter, when the game was starting to get pretty much under control. Kevin Prather picked one off and scored. So we scored 3 different defensive touchdowns on
great.
Friday, which is,
And you love that.
yeah, it's unheard of usually. But again, the inconsistency on offense, the penalties, and the fact it was y'all only scored 14 points on offense. Yeah, we only scored 14 points, but our defense, after they score, they got to go back out on the field.
Yeah.
So, there were some limited possessions at times as well. So, either way, I don't care. I don't get into the statistics all that much as far as just looking at, hey, how many average yards per game or whatever. Bottom line is you want to look at the scoreboard and see that you won. And then for us defensively, we want to see that we played well enough to shut somebody out and, continue to do what we want to do. Schematically, we were able to do that. They got the field goal off one of those punt blocks that I was talking about. They got themselves some field goal range after one of those penalties, and they ended up hitting the field goal. But we played stellar on defense, really with the exception of 1 or 2 plays against Siegel. We played really well against Siegel. They hit us on a pass right before the half that was busted cover by Josh Cunningham. He never does that, but we're kind of hitting our stride there. So, and we should be. We've got really good players there, but that's exciting. It's going to be tough, moving forward if we stay healthy, which is a big question mark. But if we stay healthy, it's going to be tough to move the football on us, we think.
Progression depth, your depth, getting the 2s and the 3s and getting those guys some Friday night lights. How's that coming?
Good. We've gotten to work a lot of guys on the offensive line due to injuries and other situations. So, like I said, we had 3 different guys playing on Friday that we really would have never anticipated to play against Arlington.
And they did fine.
Yeah, they did good. It's a learning experience, but it's good. I mean, we're getting invaluable experience right now in the kicking game, to be honest. We don't have hardly any starters in the kicking game. I love our sophomore class and junior class, the eagerness they have, because there's a lot of seniors starting for us, but our sophomores and juniors are really eager to get out there and do what they can to contribute. And so we got a lot of young guys playing on the special teams, which has been awesome on a number of reasons. One, it's exciting to see those guys, have buy-in and want to, make an impact on Friday. When we go out on kickoff and you got all your defensive starters out there, that's just another play to them. But when it's a sophomore, junior that's only going to step on the field 7-8 times,
he's fired up.
Yeah, and so that's really been fun to watch. Those guys get a chance to make some plays. And then, too, in practice, we've been able to I do most of the special teams, so I've been able to take those guys by myself and then let the other guys work on individual stuff. We've just been able to steal time at practice, which I think has been great because we've been able to limit our practices to about 2 hours. And when you're able to keep it in that 2-hour window, keep them fresh, keep them excited, make practice fun. Just culturally, it's different right now with kids. You gotta get them in and out. It's got to be super productive, and you got to be bouncing around, which we've always done that. But just getting those guys experience. I think yesterday I was looking at it. Some of these sophomores are getting invaluable experience playing. For a case in point, Smyrna Friday. That place will be rocking. And our kids, some of our sophomores probably don't even realize, just how excited Smyrna will be for us to come over there, which is awesome. I'm excited about it. I've said for a long time I love playing Smyrna, but they will never. Other than most of those kids that are on the special teams right now didn't play against Blackman. So the Siegel game was a good crowd, but this I think will be even better crowd. So it'll be really a chance for them to get under the lights in a pretty hostile environment. And we'll be able to see how they respond. Most of them, I hope, do a great job and continue to carry over what they've been doing. And then we'll find 1 or 2 that just simply aren't ready for the big stage. And, to me, I don't want to overplay it, but Friday night's a big stage, I think. I think it's a big opportunity for them. I know they have a lot of confidence going into that game, so it'll be interesting to see how some of these young guys respond.
What's it going to take to beat these guys? They got a hot hand right now.
Yeah, they're 4-0. Like I said, I'm excited because I know it's going to be a great environment to play in, and I know that Coach William and his staff is going to do a great job of preparing their team to play us. I always love playing Smyrna. It's always a physical game. I've had some great battles with Smyrna every year that I've been here.
They got a good youth program, so they got a good feeder program.
Yeah, it's just traditionally it's a great place. I like playing there because their fans are going to come out, for sure. I know, with it being
they're rowdy.
Yeah, with them being 4-0 and us coming into town, I know that their side's going to be packed, and normally our fan base travels well, so it'll be both sides will be full, and there'll be people on the fences, I believe. So it's the best game in town this week, I think, for sure. Quarterback's playing very well for them right now. He's a sophomore. He's a big kid. We'll have to put pressure on him and make him uncomfortable because you can't let him sit back there and just kind of stay in the pocket. Got multiple threats on offense. Big receiver number 2 is a deep threat, big physical receiver that can do a lot of things. And then DJ's the other guy that kind of does everything for them, and he returns punts, kicks, plays quarterback, plays receiver, plays DB. Yeah, he does all of it, and he's super talented. So we got to make sure we ID those guys. 2 and 16 got to be our focal point on the perimeter every play. And then 3 and 21, their 2 tailbacks have done a really good job. They're not they're not massive up front on offense. I'm not giving away any secrets. I think it'll be interesting early to see if they can block us well enough to run the football. I know that Coach Williams and his staff is going to want to try to establish a run, and we've got to set a precedence early that they won't be able to run the ball. If we make them one-dimensional, I feel a lot better about our chances. If they're able to run the ball on us, again going back to our defensive front, if they're able to run the ball on us inside, then it makes it a little bit more of a guessing game. It was obvious early in the Siegel game, and it was obvious early in the Arlington game they could not run it. And again, that goes back to our interior. 2 defensive tackles are, people make, again, we've talked about this before, people make a lot about these D1 offers and all that stuff. I don't care about any of that. To me, it's garbage. It doesn't matter for right now. But we got 2 really good interior defensive linemen right now, as good as we've had here in a long time. They're very active. Both of them are playing at a high level right now. Anthony's transitioned from defensive end, defensive tackle, and has just been a real force inside. And Ty's just light years ahead of where he was last year. And again, a lot of that's experience and strength and maturity and all that. But we're dynamic interior-wise. So if we're able to stop the run, then it makes it a lot easier to defend them. Offensively for us, we've got to be able to establish the line of scrimmage. I know it's the same thing, different week, but we've got.
What's your MO? You've got those guys run the ball.
We got to be able to. They got two big physical inside linebackers. They play a lot of guys on the defensive front. I feel like they're still trying to figure out what's their best mix on the defensive front. But the 2 inside linebackers are big, and we got to be able to lean on them early, hit some big runs, and make sure we continue to be 2-dimensional and don't let them force us into being 1-dimensional. So, and whether that's through them stopping the run or us not doing a good enough job of calling enough of the passing game, we got to make sure we make them defend the whole field. So it's going to be exciting, man. I'm fired up about it. It's going to be a great test for us, and I know they're going to be fired up as well. So I look forward to playing at Smyrna every time we go over there. And the last time we played there was in 11, and they smacked us around pretty good. So these kids don't remember that, but I sure do. And we left there in 11 with our tail between our legs. So I'm excited to go back over there and hopefully get some redemption.
Anything else for the crowd? Anything on your mind?
Well, you're a former Bulldog, right?
I'm a former Bulldog.
So man, I'm going to invite you over there. You going to be there?
I'll be there.
Come on, you're going. Yeah,
I'll be there. I'll be there.
But it'll be interesting to see where you're going to be standing.
I'll come over and film from your side. We'll film it. I'll film in. I'll listen to you.
I figure everybody's going to be trying to politic to get you back over there in the purple. But it's going to be a great night, man. Weather's finally getting into football weather. And
have you had any chili yet? Is your wife?
No, but I'm going to do. It's funny you say that, but I've already got plans this weekend. I'm going to do some chicken, I don't know, gumbo. I'm doing something this weekend. I'm gonna watch some college football and enjoy my daughters. But
go take some, just gotta chill. You got to spend some time with the family last week.
I got to, played a little golf and got to see my parents and all that stuff. But this weekend, hopefully I'll be in a great mood on Saturday and make some like I said, some gumbo and watch some college football.
Maybe John Jones will lay a T-bone out for you.
Maybe so.
All righty. Wrap it up. Well, all right. I'll load up Judy and I, and we'll go to the Dog Pound. That's Friday night. Oakland visits Smyrna. 7 o'clock kickoff. Bulldogs, Patriots. You be there.